Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Messy Monday. And yes, today is Thursday, but this is my video from Monday that I just didn't have time to get posted. It is also Scraptember, and the day that this was supposed to be posted, which was Monday, the prompt was circles. So there are my circles right there on the right hand side of this paper, or on the right hand side of the layout that I'm doing. I'm also using Gelatos today, and I do not remember the name of the color that I am using. Maybe I can find that for you. Let's see here. I think it is Elderberry Sirop. I don't know. Maybe. It is from the gift set 2. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the elderberry that I'm using. Yeah. Anyway, I am just doing a really light packaging technique, but I'm using my acrylic block because that's what's handy for me. And I use my acrylic block quite often. So basically you just put some gelato all over the acrylic block. And actually, now that I'm looking at that color again, I think it's actually Aqua Dolce. But anyway, yeah, rubbing the gelato like a crayon all over my acrylic block there, spraying it with some water, mixing it up with my paintbrush, and then smooshing it down. Kind of let it sit for a moment so that my paper, which is just the Close to My Heart Daisy White paper, has a chance for it to soak in. If you pick it right back up, it doesn't soak in quite as much, which is totally fine. It just depends on what look you're going for. I was looking for a little bit more coverage so that it showed up because it is such a light color. Now I am going to be using my gelatos quite a bit for all of this foliage that I am cutting out with varying dyes. These are all from different die sets. Some are Elizabeth Craft designs, some might be Sizzix, and I'm not even sure where all of the other ones come from, but there are a bunch of them. So I'm going to use those, and I'm just cutting everything out on white paper, and I'm going to use my gelatos for that. If you follow me, you know I don't really keep cardstock other than white, black, a little cream, and a little craft. The rest of it is all patterned paper or paper that is patterned but reads as a solid. And I am at a retreat while I am filming this, and I did not have any reads as a solid type scraps with me. Normally I might cut these things out of some scraps that kind of read as a solid, but because I didn't have them, I thought, well, I'm just going to use my gelatos, and I'm going to I was going to say edit them. I'm going to alter them to fit my needs. So I'm using a bunch of different greens here in different shades. One is a little bit more of a yellowy green. The other two are more maybe blue-based green. But I want kind of a mix because I don't want them to be all a flat green color. And I'm just really loosely going over everything so that it has a green effect, but I'm not looking for, like I said, solid coverage on anything, which is the look I like and the look that I'm going for. And actually, this layout I am actually doing for my friend that is sitting across from me at the retreat, and it is of her 2 daughters, and I think it's her niece, and it was on a trip to Hawaii. So that is what I am documenting here. I just happen to have a lot of my tropical dyes with me, so that's what I am using. And then I want this hibiscus flower to kind of have a corally peachy, I don't know, corally color to it, not be too pink and not be too orange, and to somewhat match a little bit of the paper that I've got going on, the polka dots on it. And yes, there are some shades in this that are a little bit more orange and a little bit more pink, and so that's going to help them kind of flow together. And same with the flip-flops that I'm painting right now, bringing in more of that pinky peach color. And you will see me use a piece of cardstock at the end of the video to map my entire layout on. That is actually a piece of cardstock that I grabbed from my friend that is sitting across from me, because I didn't really have any inks with me to ink up just to create my own cardstock. And I didn't really want to use gelatos because as it gets the paper wet, it curls it, and I didn't want my background paper to be curled. Since the white paper already has a little bit of a curl to it, I want that cardstock to kind of hold it in place rather than for both of them to curl and then not hold together. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Normally I just use white paper with a little bit of ink on it to create my own cardstock basically and match what I am working on, but I did not have that option. Like I said, I really the only ink pads, actually I had friends that had ink pads there, but the only ink pads I brought were a navy blue and a black and a brown. So I didn't really have that option. Anyway, I am inking up all of these little pieces of paper with some Black Soot Distress ink. These papers are also from the same friend that this layout is for. She just basically handed me her pack of product and said go to town. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to town. And the trip is to celebrate the gal in the middle. It's her 21st birthday. And so I thought these pieces that say it's all about me and let's live it up were just perfect for her 21st birthday. So that is what I am documenting. I apologize you don't get to see their faces. As always, I do that just for privacy purposes because I don't know them, the girls very well. I know their mom, but I didn't ask if I could use their image on camera. So out of respect for that, you don't get to see them. So it is what it is. Hopefully you still get a good idea of what the layout is about and a good way to use gelatos if you should have those in your stash. You could do a very similar technique by altering all of your die cuts that maybe are cut on white paper by using ink pads. Just smush them down onto your non-porous surface, add a little water, and then pick it up with a paintbrush and paint it on. You could do it with watercolor. You could do it with spray inks. Just grab a little bit of spray ink out of the bottle and use that. There's so many different ways to kind of achieve the same effect or to use your products and not have to pack everything in the kitchen sink when you go to a retreat. So that is one of the beautiful things about the gelatos. They are very compact and can travel really easily, but you don't have to pack, every single thing that you have. A lot of times my friends and I coordinate. So one of them brought the Catherine Pooler inks, one brought the Tim Holtz inks, oxide inks. I brought mixed media stuff. One of us brings alpha dyes, one of us brings the Cricut or Silhouette or whatever machine. Usually it's the Cricut because that's what they're all accustomed to. And then I just, beg forgiveness and give them a bad time about not having a Silhouette because that's what I use. But, I know it well enough that I can create some things on it if I really need to. Anyway, so sharing the load works really well when you're retreating with people that you know well. If you don't know them well, I don't really have a resolution for that, but we all kind of just share in the packing and the work of bringing all of the things to use. So it's been working for us for several years, and I don't see that changing anytime soon because it just really makes life easier and gives us more room in the car to pack other things that we might not consider bringing because you might want to bring your essentials, which might be, all your inks or something like that. Anyway, now that I've got my layout put together after you got to hear all of that, I am going to just use some liquid glue to adhere everything down. I actually used liquid glue on all of these bits and pieces because it's all going down over mixed media and the paper with the circles on it. It's a glittery paper, so I feel like the liquid glue is going to hold it down much better than if I were to use my ATG or some other snail glue or booger glue or whatever you call it, dry adhesive. I love my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. I'm not going to lie. It's just like the best thing since sliced bread. But, I can work with that all day long. Anyway, I am doing these little tiny straps for the flip-flops and I'm inking them up in black. I'm just going to throw a little Nuvo on the back of my hand to dip into. I put it on the back of my hand so that I don't just accidentally set anything in a pile of glue on my desk. But you could definitely put it on your desk as well. And then I went back and I made this pair of sunglasses. and I added those also. And so here's where you're going to see me using my trimmer, and this is just my travel trimmer. It's a really old Kaisercraft trimmer. It works great. It is rotary, and it's got a couple of different blades in it, but it's not something you can find anymore to my knowledge. But it's really lightweight and travels easily, so I usually grab that. You know, I have several options in trimmers, but this one works well because it can gut paper and all that kind of stuff also, and it's really lightweight and doesn't take up a lot of room in my bag. That is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope that you got a chance to see what MK did for you over on her channel for Messy Monday. And I will put links to the Scraptember playlist down below for you so that you can go and check that out. And the link for the gelatos that I purchased recently in case you're interested in those. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another one. Bye-bye.